Welcome back to the beach here at Super Tubos as we see Adriano de Souza now match up against Caio, Ibelli and Jack Freestone. Another very hard heat to forecast. De Souza taking out the win. While we were away, this is that first number in for Freestone.
Jack Freestone is just a bit of a wild card in this heat because these kind of conditions are so conducive for what he can produce. Adriano de Souza is so consistent, 6.5, again, pretty solid score for today. Scale set a little on the low side, and that's what he does. You can see how tenacious Adriano de Souza is.
What about this man, young Caio Ibelli, as he now tracks through the tube, gets that stance, the weight forward, and he won't push through that into that round two. You're buying a probable 25th, and here we go with de Souza. He'll want to keep his momentum moving. Already opened with the 6.5, lovely line along the lip, and as I say that, he'll just spill. The wave is processed by the panel, and Jack Freestone, glassy bowl ahead of him, and he'll go beautifully to the air, upside down in the apex of that turn, but it isn't incomplete.
Forget that. So he surfs well in these types of waves.
You described Jack Freestone as a bit of a wild card. But what about this man here, Caio Ibelli? Of course, none of these are actual wild cards.
And won the world title. So it's not like he's having an off year, but definitely something to be proud of.
Freestone, yes, he'll go to the air and he'll get the rotation. He'll put it down nicely and he'll guide it out. Meanwhile, split peak for de Souza goes the other way. Just back to what you mentioned there, Adriano was third on the Jeep leaderboard this time last year and got the big win. So testimony to how hard de Souza's prepared to fight. This young man has the same spirit running through his veins, young Caio Ibelli, to a level, and this is how Jack gets his results.
Okay, so again, that's what I was anticipating from Jack Freestone, is to do a bunch of those.
And now Freestone again, little pocket for him, nice little zip float over it. Just sparks the tail there, but it is a disinterested end move. So high repetition of waves again here. And now priority being exercised by Adriano de Souza. Tapered wall. And there we go. He'll go to the air. And you said he's proficient, Ross, and he does just that. So prepare to mix it up with Jack Freestone is Adriano de Souza, our world champion.
So again, nice little snap here, setting the pace. There's it, inverted nose pick, and that's why I made that air cool. That tail was so high in the sky, so not a lot of projection. It's not like he boosted to the moon, but it was cool that his board was off axis.
The Jeep leaderboard, and then, well, a win at the end of it all. So we see Caio Ibelli, the rookie, nice set of turns there, lots of drive, another tight little check, and now an exit. That air for de Souza now in, Ross, a 6.87, sees a new heat leader in de Souza. So tight set of numbers here separating the field.
Jeez, so close. 0.2 of a point there, but it's enough to turn the heat.
A 9th in France, not a great one. The quarterfinaling as well. Let's have a look at the action. 8:45 to go. No game changes there, Ross. Koa Bacalso in the list there with Geordie Smith, as we now have a look at the world champion, Adriano de Souza, working away here, trying to attack that requirement of just a 6.64.
Never taking anything for granted. Much to do with his upbringing, and watch clean little reverse right there. Adriano de Souza needed a 6.64 that wave, lacking some energy at those, perfect big tube rides that this place is known for.
Overview here, and now locking into Caio Ibelli, who really sparking two turns together here, down in third place, looking for a 6.84, and the exchanges will continue with lovely completed turns. There's such a definition to Adriano de Souza's repertoire, and he likes that. He's asking the judges, what do you think of that one?
He really kept his energy throughout the wave. He kept the speed. Second snap a little better, and then the best one is the last one right there with a nice little vertical snap. So he combined 3 different maneuvers, which is rare today. A lot of closeouts and A-frames where you're getting one turn. So 3 maneuvers is going to mean a lot. I love that snap right there from Caio. The second one was really nice too for, a lousy section. It was crazy how much pop he got out of that second maneuver.
And Ross, your crystal ball, no wonder you do Fantasy Surfer. He's spot on. A 7.3 comes to the scorecards. De Souza now takes the lead for the first time in the heat. Freestone bumps down to second and is holding the priority. But look at the requirement, not a big one, a 6.5. He's got to ditch the 5.83 now. Now let's have a look. Freestone down into second. We'll go back to his formula. And he will just bury it in the white water there. So inside of 1 minute. And this heat has got all sorts of little subplots unfolding. So Freestone's got to ditch that low 5.83 and he's got to do it in under 10 seconds. A little overview of the lineup here in Peniche. We'll show that it's not going to come. And he will gain access to that wave, but it is outside the buzzer. And you'll see Freestone planing to the beach. It looks like De Souza has found the formula to move through his round one encounter. Help but think that Jack Freestone opened up with the highest score of the heat, the 7.67, but didn't back himself up. And in the end, the fighting spirit of Adriano De Souza will once again find a heat win.